if you're in an age gap marriage, I'm sure you thought of this. One's 25, one's 40. Everything is good. Everything is clicking on all cylinders. You're moving fast and your body feels good and young and youthful. Have you asked yourself this question? What happens when one is 55 and the other one is 70? You need to think about that.
Yes, because it's a big difference. So in today's video, we're going to talk quite a bit about retirement, what it's like, because with our age gap difference being 16, 17 years, Rob retired way before I was able to, and I'm still working, and he's been retired for what, 12 years now? 12 years?
12 great years.
12 great years, so, and I'm still working. So that takes a little bit of getting used to. So Rob retired the day he turned 62. It was a big celebration. It was a great day for him.
My birthday.
It was his birthday.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. So, and I.
What a present.
That was a good present. Yeah. So I had to keep obviously working, and at the time I was still working in the office. I had to go in. This was before COVID hit and everything. So.
That was kind of different because when she's working in the office, this is what I did. You know, now I have a lot of free time because I'm retired. However, I didn't want to feel like a freeloader, and she's working, and I didn't want to work her to death. So what I did was, when she got up to go to work, I got up with her, because for one, I wanted to see her, talk to her, get her off to, get the day off to a good start, and
we also had kids still in school, so
yes,
everybody was up.
So what I would do, I would think, well, now I'm not a housemaker, I'm not a cook, and I'm not that good at laundry. However, I didn't want her to have to come home to a mess. Nobody wants to come home to a messy house. So what I would do, I would vacuum every day, and I would make sure that house was straight when she come home, because nobody wants to walk into a mess, do they?
No, because when I would leave for work, this is again when I worked in the office, I had quite a bit done before I ever left, and I would have to be there at 7 a.m. But I had my laundry pretty much ready to go, if not done. I had vacuumed the floors. This is when we both worked, and the kitchen was clean. So when he retired, I didn't want him cooking. I didn't want him cleaning, because I feel that's my job, and him being a boomer, he wasn't raised to do that anyway, right?
No,
not that he can't cook, but I feel like that's my responsibility.
I can cook. She just won't eat it.
Right.
And probably I wouldn't eat it now, because the way that I was raised and the way people cooked back then really wasn't that healthy.
Right.
See, because that's just the way boomers cook. That's the way they was raised, and so. Yeah.
Yeah. So it took some getting used to. I mean, but I will say, when I would come home, we have dogs in the house, so he would vacuum every day, and usually every week or two, he would take one room and like deep clean it, like clean the baseboards for me or wipe down the walls or whatever, because in your everyday cleaning, you just don't do that. So he would do that for me. So I never came home to a mess. With him being there all day, I didn't come home to a sink full of dishes or anything like that. So that was good. Now, when I went into the office, on occasion, I would get a call, because we have dogs, and I'd be busy at work, and I would get this call, and you could tell he was hot, boy. And he'd be like, this dog just made a mess all over this house and got sick and puked or whatever. And I'd be sitting there listening to it and be thinking, okay,
well, see,
what would you like me to do about that?
I was not raised with dogs in the house.
Right.
And the dogs that we had, they had limited access to the house, which was good. I was actually kind of growing and learning how to live with dogs, which now I wouldn't have it any other way, but I've kind of changed. But then again, also getting back to retirement, I helped her out, and I understand that there's a balance that you have to achieve. However, I was enjoying being retired.
Yeah.
I mean, I did what I needed to do to keep the house peaceful and in order, but also I enjoyed myself also. I was really enjoying my retirement. I come and go as I pleased, did whatever I wanted to do, and
Still does.
Yeah.
And now I'm working from home, have been since COVID hit. And that took some getting used to as well. I mean, you think, okay, you're working from home, it's great, but you got to realize you're still sitting at a computer all day long. And, yeah, he's there all day long, but he's out working in the yard, messing around, doing whatever he wants to do, going where he wants to go, and I'm stuck at home. It just takes some getting used to. So, but it all works out great. So.
Let me ask you this question. Have you thought about, whether your age gap is 10, 15, 20 years, have you thought about what are you going to do? What are you going to be like when you're older? Because one person is kind of slowing down. You fight it, but nature has a way of, getting its way. And you have to be patient with yourself, because one is slowing down and the other one is like hitting peak performance. So there's not a balance there. So you have to come together and try to balance that as best you can. For one, the older person, man or woman, you need to try to take care of yourself. You need to try to be as active as that younger partner is. You can't go ridiculous. You can't act ridiculous about it, but you can't just be a stick in the mud, because you have to know this person is 15 years younger than you. And then vice versa, they need to know that you're a little older than them, right?
Right. And along with retirement, I mean, I have to, obviously, because I'm still working, I still have a little ways to go before I can retire. But I have to realize that Rob is retired and he wants to enjoy his retirement. So I don't expect him to stick around here while I'm here. Not that he takes vacations by himself or anything like that. He wouldn't do that. And I have plenty of vacation time. But I have to realize he doesn't want to sit in the house or do yard work all the time, because he's retired. He should be enjoying it. And I get that. And it's a challenge. You have to get used to it. But it's not bad. I mean,
no, it's not bad. But here's one thing that stays on my mind. I'm really concerned about this. She's 17 years younger than me, and I hope she can find the energy to keep up with me.
That's true. I will say, God, that's probably true. He can.
Good luck.
Yeah. He can outdo me pretty much in anything. But it's always been that way. I mean, when we first got married, I was 26. He was 40, whatever. I don't do the math.
Can't remember way back then.
It's a long time ago. But we were both young and healthy, and him being a martial artist, forever. I mean, there was never any slowing down period, and I really still don't see any slowing down period, because he's very active, I'm very active, and we try to do everything we can to stay healthy. But back then, whether you're, and this is a question to you guys, if you're thinking about marrying an older person, man or woman, whichever way, whoever's older, doesn't matter, or if you're in that marriage early, we got bees out here, early in that marriage, think about this. What's it going to be like when they do retire? Am I going to be okay with that? And that's a question everybody should ask, when they first get together. So.
Because when she retires, I'll be 80.
Right.
See, so you need to think about that.
So yeah.
I mean, it's just the way it happens. It's kind of like now it's her turn to retire. She wants to enjoy herself. I'm 80. I need to help her enjoy that retirement, and I have to make sure that I'm able to do that.
Right. So that's going to be the topic of our next video. So. Think about it. Let us know are you in that situation, or have you thought about that? Because if you are in age gap marriage or heading that way, it'll be something that you face. So
yeah. So leave it in the comments. What are you doing to make sure that you're trying to balance that age gap? What activities are you doing, or maybe you changed your diet?
Right.
The main thing though is you want to reach 100, and you still want to be able to walk and maneuver and function and keep good control of your brain. So
yeah, we're both working on
actually,
that.
if you look at it correctly, it's actually a trip. See, it's going to be an adventure. I mean, it's going to be an adventure that you need to try to embrace, and
Right.
because you never know what's going to happen. But
And
you
it
know,
could happen at any point in a marriage.
but just remember this: back in the day, you promised to love, honor, and cherish this person you're with and take care of them. That's what you said. So revisit that day,
Right.
and meditate on those words that you said, and keep it forefront in your mind. You said this, and I believed you.
Right.
So
All right. We'll see you next time. Thanks, everyone. He forgot to put the clicker in his hand. Where is the clicker? Oh, I don't know.
there it is.
Bye.